Good morning all. I am Hanita Hanif, second semester MTech Structural Engineering and Construction Management, Department of Civil Engineering, SNIT Adu. Today I am here to present about my topic, bridge bearings. What is meant by bearings? Bridge bearings are structural equipments or devices installed between bridge substructure and superstructure to transfer the applied load including earthquake loads, wind loads, traffic loads and superstructure self-weight. Bearings are provided in the bridges at the junction of the girders or slabs and top of the pier and abutment. The main function of bearings are to transmit vertical load to substructure, to facilitate movement caused by thermal changes, to provide rotational movement of the girders. Types of bearings. Depending on functional behavior, there can be two types of bearing. First one is fixed bearing. It allows only rotation. Next is expansion bearing, allow both rotation and translation. Some of the commonly used bridge bearings are rocker bearing. Rocker bearings are suitable only for straight steel bridges. The type of bearing consisting of a pin to accommodate large lateral deflections as well as large vertical loads, and it is used for span lengths of 15 meters and more. The IRC 83 stipulates the following specification for rocker pins, that is the diameter D of the rocker pin shall not be less than 16 mm. The pin shall be fitted to a depth of 0.5 D in the groove. The minimum clearance above the top surface of the rocker pin shall be 2.5 mm. This is a figure of rocker bearing. Next is rocker and roller bearings. In this type of bearing, the translational movement is facilitated by a group or nest of rollers, while rotational movement is achieved by the rocker pin. Roller bearings are intended for spans of moderate length. The coded stipulations for such bearings are the minimum diameter of the roller shall be 75 mm. The ratio of the length of the roller to the diameter shall normally not more than 6. The gap between the rollers shall not be less than 50 mm in case of multiple roller. The allowable working load per unit length of cylindrical roller shall be taken as for in case of mild steel, the single and double rollers is 8 d Newton per mm of length. 3 or more rollers consisting 5 d Newton per mm of length, and for high tensile steel, single and double rollers is equal to 10 Newton per mm of length. 3 or more rollers is 7 d Newton per mm of length, where d is the diameter of the roller in mm. Next is sliding bearing. It utilizes one plate sliding against the other to accommodate translation movement, and this bearing does not allow rotational movement. It is recommended to be used for the span length of less than 15 meters. This type of bearing may be used for straight steel bridges. A sliding bearing becomes unstable when subjected to lateral forces. Next is elastomeric bearings. Elastomer is a polymer substance obtained after vulcanization of rubber. An elastomeric bearing can consisting of an unreinforced elastomeric pad or a reinforced elastomeric bearing. May also be fabricated by binding together alternate layers of rubber and steel plates. The advantages of this bearing are they take direct compressive load, shearing force, moment by undergoing appropriate deformation. They have no moving part, therefore they require no maintenance. The height of the bearing is less as compared to other bearings, so lower headroom requires and thus reduces the cost of construction. This is a figure represent elastomeric bearing consisting of unreinforced and reinforced sections. An elastomeric bearing should satisfy the following condition as per IRC 83 Part 2 code. That is, first is hardness should be 60 plus or minus 5 degrees on IRHD, that is International Rubber Hardness Scale. Then the minimum tensile strength should be 17 megapascal, and minimum elongation at break shall be 400%. Shear modulus of elastomer shall be in the range of from 0.8 MPa to 1.20 MPa. Adhesion strength of the elastomer to steel plate shall not be less than 7 kN per meter. Next is steel bearings, concrete bearings, neoprene bearings. First one is steel bearings. First is steel roller. Roller bearing permit both the linear and rotational movement. Single roller is used for roller bearing of moderate capacity, but when roller bearings are to be designed for large capacity, then the number of rollers is to be increased by keeping the diameter of rollers nearly the same as for the single roller bearing. When the number of rollers is an assembly of rollers exceed 2, the permissible load is reduced. In case of multiple roller bearings, one intermediate plate known as saddle plate is inserted between the assembly of rollers and the top plate. The saddle plate functions as a medium for allowing both rotation and translation. The rollers are prevented from excess rolling by providing lugs or stopper plates, the movement in the transverse direction being prevented by the guides. And also these guides also ensures uniform and regular movement of rollers. Then also the assembly of rollers is connected by tie bar in order to maintain fixed spacing, and in some cases pendulum shaped segmental rollers is used for eliminating the sides of a complete circle in order to save some material. In case of full circle roller bearing, we prevented the structure from dislodging even when there is excessive tilt or rotation the roller to the different settlement of the foundation. This figure represents single roller and multiple roller. Next is steel rocker. But the roller bearing permit both rotation and translation of ends of superstructure. The rocker bearing permit only the rotation. The bearing is termed rocker because of the top plate rocks over the bottom plate. Basically, in one, flat surface rocks over convex surface, and in other, convex surface rocks over the flat surface. Next is reinforced conduit bearing. Cast steel bearings are usually very costly and not easily available from the manufacturer, and therefore for medium span bridges where the use of roller and rocker bearings is obligatory, therefore RC bearings are sometimes used. It is consisting a rich conduit mix of 1:1:2 is usually specific for the manufacture of bearings. First is RC roller. RC rollers are reinforced heavily both in the direction of transmission of load as well as transverse direction to prevent the tendency of bursting of the rollers. Interlocking spirals are provided both vertically and horizontally for the purpose. Double bars with the copper lining are provided from the pier or abutment cap up to the deck to the elliptical hollow of the rollers. This hose permit rolling of the rollers, and a lead sheet of 6 mm to 10 mm thickness is used both at the top and bottom of rollers for providing uniform distribution of load. The lead sheet also help in easy rolling of rollers. This figure represents RC roller bearing. Then RC rocker. RC rocker bearings permit both rotation and translation, but in case of rocker, no elliptical hole is provided and the double bar holds the deck in a semi-hinged condition. In case of full circle bearings, distribute load in a better way when the segmented bearings. This is true for segmented RC roller and rocker also. These are not recommended for adoption. Next is curved pier top. Sometimes the pier tops are made curved and superstructure rests on it with a lead sheet in between. The main function of lead sheet is to distribute the load evenly on the pier cap from the superstructure. Double bars lined with 16 gauge copper sheet lining to prevent rusting are used to keep the deck in position. The curved top of the pier functions as a roller bearings, and such should be provided with the proper radius of curvature for adequate load transfers. Dispersion grids or spirals as necessary should be provided both in the superstructure. This type of bearing is very economical and suitable for medium span superstructures. Last one is neoprene bridge bearing. It is also called elastomeric bridge bearing and quite simple and trouble free to set up and connect.